What's up, gang? Jason Emmett here from the Movie Mix, and I was actually preparing to do a video where I discussed like which Avengers I thought were going to make it into Doomsday and which I didn't think were going to make it out. And then, like just a few hours ago, some Avengers Doomsday concept art was accidentally leaked online. Now, here's the thing that we need to address here. This was accidentally leaked by someone who works for Marvel that has done concept art for multiple Marvel projects. And so this is pretty much, I mean, this is a real thing. We know that this is legitimate artwork that was leaked. Now, what we don't know is if it was leaked intentionally, maybe to garner some attention. We don't know how accurate things are, but we're going to show you some of those and we're going to discuss some of it really quick because it's really cool and it actually tells us a lot about what we might expect here from the upcoming Doomsday project. Now, one of the first things we see is we see Hulk and we see She-Hulk and what is more than likely Scar, a little more buffer than we'd seen him previously, which I think is a good idea. Maybe he's grown up a little bit. I was not a hater of She-Hulk. I know some of you absolutely despise it. I actually enjoyed the series. It's not my favorite, but I thought it was pretty good. And I think she has a right to come back. Like, we need her story arc closed out anyway, so it makes sense, and I'm sure they'll do something a little different with her. But if you pay attention to this picture, we actually see other Hulk-like characters. Now, we're assuming that a lot of this was built around, well, let's look here. We have Doom and what Doom is going to look like, and you see him sitting here on a throne with a bunch of characters around him, and if you pay close attention to those characters, you're going to see some familiar faces sitting, in this room with him. So you'll see what looks like Doctor Strange right there, who I believe is a character known as Sheriff Strange in the comic books. This is kind of interesting because we had kind of been told that Benedict Cumberbatch, that Doctor Strange would not show up in Doomsday, and there was going to be good reason for it. So maybe this is more Marvel trickery where our Stephen Strange isn't, but another variant is. We also see what looks like Yelena back there holding someone hostage, if you can see there, that looks a lot like Yelena. We see what appears to be maybe Sue Storm sitting next to Doom with probably Franklin Richards, which is their son. That would be Reed Richards and Sue Storm's son standing there below them. You also see a real medieval theme here going on, which is kind of crazy. But most believe this is a creation of Doom. Doom has created this world, and this will play all into Secret Wars and Doomsday as things move forward. Doom, you can see his sort of concept art is very cool looking. I really dig the outfit they've got going on here for him. I think it looks really good. We also see a possible variant of Black Panther. We had kind of heard rumors that this might be happening, that we would be getting a different universe, a different multiverse version of Black Panther as ways to kind of introduce some characters into the storyline moving forward that will make sense. So you see that here. It looks great. I love the outfit. It's amazing. Some of the stranger photos here, we see what looks like Star-Lord and Vision chilling on a couch, hanging out together. So one of the people I had kind of figured, Chris Pratt had just recently come out and said, like, you will see they said we'll see Star-Lord again, and we are going to fulfill that promise, but he wouldn't say when. I suspected Doomsday would be the answer to that. And we know Vision Quest is coming, or whatever they're going to end up calling it. And it is falling in 2026. We don't know if it's falling before or after Doomsday, but I have a feeling before was always sort of my thought, and now I have a feeling that they're kind of proving that, because we see in this photo, we see Vision, the White Vision, is in the photo with Peter Quill, so that kind of hints at that. But if we go to this next photo, we see a group of people, including Peter Quill and Wong, hanging out with the quote-unquote young Avengers in a bar scene. And this is where things get interesting, because we see Wiccan there, but we obviously see Billy there as well. And that would imply that he does get it. We already know he's going to be introduced in Vision Quest. There's a character named Teen, and if you watch Agatha all along, there's a character named Teen that turns out to be Wiccan, and he's already searching for his brother. So we know that's what's going to happen there. We'd kind of heard that the Young Avengers, quote unquote, won't be happening, but that they are going to go a different route. They're just getting too old to be the Young Avengers, that they're probably going to take those characters and just make another team. We don't really know if that is the case or not. We really can't say. But one of the things I want to point out here in this photo is, if you notice in the background, there is a little green character with an X on his stomach, and that is the character of, I believe his name is Dupe. So Dupe is sort of an obscure character, but it kind of makes sense if they're going to be doing some multiversal stuff to kind of bring him in a way that none of us are really expecting. Dupe actually made his first appearance in X-Force. He's this little green floating creature who speaks his own language that really isn't his own. It's a very bizarre but kind of fun character to throw in here. I imagine that his part will be, sort of like a smaller kind of role, but fun. They've done this sort of thing in the past with like Ragnarok and things like that, where we've seen characters, smaller characters thrown in that are just sort of there in the background for fun that actually, kind of enhance things. So it's an interesting character to see kind of thrown in the mix for sure. Absolutely. But what we're seeing here in this concept art, again, this was leaked from someone that actually works at Marvel that has done lots of concept art for them in the past. So most of this is somewhat kind of confirmed that it might be fairly accurate. We don't really know what that means as far as the world of Doomsday and where the plot is going. I had some thoughts. I'll give you those kind of truncated now so this doesn't become a super long video. But, I had some thoughts of what Avengers we will and won't see in Doomsday and kind of a little bit in Secret War. Obviously, we're going to see Cap and Falcon, the new Cap and Falcon. Captain America Brave New World wasn't a perfect film. I understand that. But it was thoroughly enjoyable. And the characters in it were great. So we know why some of it wasn't perfect, but the movie overall is a pretty decent movie. We know we're going to see them. I mentioned some recent comments being made by Chris Pratt regarding Peter Quill, so obviously it looks like we're going to be seeing him in there. We also heard some recent stuff about Moon Knight. We know Moon Knight is not getting a season 2, but Marvel has suggested that we will see him in other projects moving forward. It's a possibility he could appear in Doomsday, but I sort of don't think he will. I think we're going to see him pop up in different future MCU series of some sort. I mentioned Doctor Strange. We had heard he will not show up in Doomsday, but there's going to be a reason why he doesn't. Again, I'm kind of wondering if they're teasing this. Our Stephen Strange does not, but we see Sheriff Strange instead, and then we are told where Doctor Strange is. I think our Doctor Strange will make his return in Secret Wars. And before I'd seen this concept art, I had thought, we will see Wong, and I'm okay with that, and it does look like Wong is going to pop up. A few of the others I assume we'll see fighting on the side of the Avengers. Shang-Chi seems like an obvious choice. I have a feeling we might see Bucky from the Thunderbolts, apparently Yelena as well, but I don't think we're going to see all the Thunderbolts. I would be shocked if Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Wasp, if they don't show up somewhere in this. I think, again, I had kind of thought some version of Banner/Hulk, and I kind of figured they might use this opportunity to take him back to more of an angry Hulk. That seems like where they need him to be for Secret Wars. Looks like that might be happening. We didn't see anything with Spider-Man in any of this. I would be really shocked if Spidey doesn't show up in Doomsday, but he might not. They might have the Spider-Man film and then him come in Secret Wars. I think we're going to get some stuff with the symbiote suit because that's what he needs for Secret Wars. I think Thor is gonna show up, and I actually think they have let us know that some people are going to be in this and not make it to the other side. They're going to die, and that will be the end of them. I am still one of those people that think this will be the end of Thor, that this will be a way for them to get Hemsworth out of the MCU that makes sense, that sort of works. So I have a feeling we're going to see Thor, and I kind of wonder if he's going to make it out. I also kind of think Nick Fury, this might be where they kind of let him depart as well and maybe hand the reins over to someone else moving forward. We'll probably see the likes of War Machine in this as well. And I kind of wonder about Loki because there's some tie-ins where Loki and Doom could play into this universe together. There's some storylines where that kind of makes sense. So that could happen as well. Valkyrie, Shuri's Black Panther, possibly Daredevil, although I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have Daredevil in this, and then they kind of tie Daredevil and Moon Knight into something in the future. And as far as like Hawkeye goes, I think we'll see him. I think Clint will show up, but I don't think he's going to fight anymore. I think he's going to take on more of a role of an instructor, something like that. And I don't think we're going to see any more Hawkeye fighting. The big rumor out there has been, Chris Evans said, we heard some rumors that he was going to reappear. He said, no, I've retired that character. If you recall, Andrew Garfield heavily denied returning for Spidey 3. And I'm thinking maybe he's saying I retired the character of Captain America and he will still show up as some kind of character. The other rumor is Hugh Jackman is going to show up as Wolverine again. And if this happens, and I might be in the minority here, I don't want it. I want it to be a small role, maybe a variant, and only in Secret Wars, not in Doomsday. And if you ask why, it's because to me this would be jarring. They've already told us that they're going to be casting younger X-Men, and the chances of him continuing on as Wolverine after that are very slim. So it could start making the storylines very convoluted to have him in any major role. That's just my opinion. I think they need to recast Wolverine at some point, and we've been told he won't show up in the first X-Men movie. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, we talked about Vision. We know it looks like he is going to be in there. I kind of assumed he would. As far as Wanda, we don't know. I have a feeling we're going to get some Wanda news in Vision Quest. We also know there's going to be a Punisher special TV show, maybe a one-off event. That's also targeted for 2026, but I don't think Punisher is going to make any kind of appearance in here. Ironheart is coming out this year. And while having an Iron Man-style character in the Avengers does make sense, we're really going to have to watch the show to see if we think she's ready for the big leagues or not. Anyway, these are just my thoughts and opinions on things. And with these new concept art being leaked, I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think. I watch a lot of content creators. I keep my ear down to the ground. I pay attention. And of course, I speculate a lot based off my opinion. But that's what makes Movie Chat so enjoyable. So with that, I welcome your guys' thoughts. I want you to drop a comment. Who do you think we will and won't see? Do you think that this concept art is legit stuff? What do you think of what you've seen so far? Drop a comment. Be nice in the comments, please, and thank you. While you're down there, hit that like button for me. Give me a thumbs up because it really helps. And most importantly, I need you to punch that subscribe button if you have not already done so. Really appreciate it, guys. And until next time, stay awesome.